Coming up on LUTV News, St. Louis County Police say they believe 3 murders in the area are connected. Plus, a robbery in O'Fallon, Missouri leads to a police pursuit. And remains found in the Grand Teton National Park are identified. Those stories and more ahead on LUTV News. Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Alexis Montgomery. St. Louis County Police say they believe 3 murders in the area are all linked. The killings each happened 3 days apart from September 13th through the 19th. One of the murders included a 16-year-old in the 9900 block of Glen Owen Drive in the Ferguson area. Local police talked about the killings at a press conference Tuesday morning.
St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, in collaboration with the St. Louis County Police Department, has identified possible connections among 3 recent homicides in the St. Louis region. Both city and county are taking the threat seriously. We are thankful for our counterparts at the county for working with us closely.
The suspect of the murders has not been identified yet. A police pursuit races through O'Fallon, Missouri Tuesday night. Officers chased 3 suspects down Highway K after a robbery. A police move called Stop Sticks stopped the car near the intersection of Highway K and N. The suspects ditched the car along Highway 364 and ran into a field. Officers were able to catch the suspects and arrest them. A 4th suspect was left at the crime scene and arrested. The stolen property has been returned to the store. St. Louis University is giving students a day off for their mental health this Friday in the wake of 2 students' death this week. Police say 1 student died near a dining hall and the other in a residence hall. Students say that coming back to school after COVID has taken a mental toll and that the university's 10 free counseling sessions are not enough. Students have started a petition to ask the university to do more. SLU says it's waiving counseling fees for the rest of the semester as a result and telling students to focus on their mental health. A juvenile fatally shot a man with a bow and arrow in Jefferson County. The family's attorneys say the boy was carrying a bow and arrow to hunt a deer when he spotted 40-year-old Michael Stotts. The boy said Stotts was allegedly trying to steal a tractor and wood splitter from the family's property. The attorney says the boy shot Stotts after a brief altercation and warning. The boy told police he shot the man in self-defense. Police say they are investigating that claim. The juvenile was not arrested. Missouri's 2019 abortion bill barring the procedure after 8 weeks or a prenatal Down syndrome diagnosis is in federal court. Governor Mike Parsons signed the bill within days of it being passed, but it was blocked by the federal judge the day before it was to go into effect. The court's focus is currently on abortions in regards to genetic abnormalities, not how long a woman has to get an abortion. Planned Parenthood's chief medical officer, Dr. Colleen McNichols, says, quote, "This is a public health matter. It is basic health care, and we will continue to fight for the people to have access to it." A woman can currently have an abortion up to 22 weeks here in Missouri. Straight ahead on LUTV News. The St. Louis couple who waved guns at protesters last summer may have their licenses revoked.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable. and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
The search for Gabby Petito is over. The FBI says the autopsy results confirm the body found in the Wyoming National Park are in fact the 22-year-old missing woman. The federal agency made the announcement on Tuesday. Petito was reported missing September 11th. Coroner's preliminary report is now saying that her death is a homicide. The FBI is asking anyone who may have seen or interacted with Petito or her fiancé Brian Laundrie to contact them. The case of Gabby Petito has families of other unsolved missing person cases feeling left out, including the family of Jelani Day. Day has been missing since late August. His car was found in a wooded area about 60 miles away from Bloomington, Illinois. Day's mom tells Good Morning America, "I shouldn't have to beg. I shouldn't have to plead. I shouldn't have to feel that there is a racial disparity. I shouldn't have to feel anything like that. I want people to know that they have these resources and that this could happen to them." Anyone with information is asked to call the Bloomington Police Department at 309-434-2548. That number is on the screen. COVID deaths are on the rise even as new cases continue to drop. After a steady decline from April to June, deaths climbed 40% in the last 2 weeks. The U.S. is averaging 1,900 deaths a day, with new COVID cases dropping 130,000 a day. According to health experts, the majority of those hospitalized dying are unvaccinated. Nearly 64% of those eligible have taken at least one dose of the vaccine, with 70 million remaining unvaccinated. St. Louis County is giving people several incentives to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Starting this Saturday, people who get vaccinated will be eligible for a $100 grocery card or a $50 gas card.
Share with them that I've even had them initiate to me what happened to the incentive program, and I've always been have to say it's in the work, it's coming, they're working on it, and now it is here. And so I know that there are residents in that particular community that are looking for the vaccination incentive gift card program.
Gift cards will not be handed out at vaccination events, but they will be mailed to the person's home. To qualify, you must live in St. Louis County, be of 12 years of age or older, and get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 at a county-sponsored vaccination event. The St. Louis couple who waved guns at Black Lives Matter protesters last summer may have their licenses to practice law revoked. Mark and Patricia McCloskey, who gained notoriety on national news, pleaded guilty to firearm charges in June, but were pardoned by Missouri Governor Mike Parson. The couple are personal injury lawyers in the area. The Missouri Chief Disciplinary Council is asking the state Supreme Court to revoke the couple's licenses this week. The council says the McCloskeys, quote, showed indifference to public safety and involved moral turpitude that warrants discipline. An attorney for the McCloskeys declined to comment on the matter. 3 local schools are receiving national honors. North Kirkwood, Wydown, and Francis Howell Middle Schools were among 8 Missouri schools to earn National Blue Ribbon status. The schools were recognized on their overall academic performance or their work towards closing the academic gap and student subgroups. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona commended the schools for keeping students safe and meeting their educational needs during the pandemic. The U.S. Department of Education awarded the honor to 325 schools nationwide.
Fall has officially arrived, and it may be time to start thinking about those sweaters and jackets in the back of your closet. I'll have a look at your forecast when we come back.
Here are your AARP top tips on caregiver preparedness during coronavirus. First, form a caregiving team. Create a list of people in your family and friend network who can help with caregiving tasks. Take an inventory of supplies in your loved one's home. Try to have a 2-week supply of essential items. Make a list of the care recipient's medications and medical contacts. Be sure to have prescriptions on hand and ask the pharmacist for an extra 30-day supply. Make a plan to stay connected. To prevent social isolation, set up available technology to help loved ones stay connected and schedule regular chats. Finally, maintain your own self-care. Follow the Centers for Disease Control's guidelines for coronavirus safety. And have a backup plan for care in case you become ill. For more caregiving tips during the coronavirus pandemic, go to aarp.org/caregiving.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savebythescan.org.
Fall has officially arrived, and it may be time to start thinking about those sweaters and jackets in the back of your closet. I'll have a look at your forecast when we come back. That wasn't the right one.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. It's officially the start of the fall season, and you're looking at some cooler weather than usual on Wednesday. You could expect dry conditions, and it's mostly sunny outside with a slight breeze that may bring out the hoodies. We have a northwest wind traveling at about 15 miles per hour, and the humidity stands at about 38%. It's currently 70 degrees in a partly cloudy St. Charles. If you travel further east, it's currently 69 degrees in St. Louis, and if we move to Maryland Heights, you'll see that it stands at 70 degrees. Moving out west, we can find that it's 71 degrees in St. Peter's, and O'Fallon is steady at 69 degrees. Over the next 5 days, you'll see fall is starting to take over. Wednesday will have a high of 72 and a low of 48. Thursday will continue the trend with a high of 74 and a low of 54 with a 5% chance of rain. Summer will try to fight back on Wednesday, jumping to a high of 83, but cooling off with a low of 54 and a 4% chance of rain. Saturday will bring it back down to 76 with a low of 54 and a 10% chance of rain. Then summer will give another push on Sunday, jumping up to 86, but dropping down to 63 at its lowest with a 3% chance of rain. That's it for weather. With LUTV News, I'm Christopher Rogers.
Mars may be just too small to support life. That's according to new research out of WashU. Researchers say there's plenty of information out there to suggest that at one time Mars had life-sustaining water on its surface, but they theorize that its size and planet's makeup may not be able to retain it. Washington University professor Kun Wang says in a statement, there's likely a threshold on the size requirements of rocky planets to retain enough water to enable habitability and plate tectonics with mass exceeding that of Mars. TikTok recently spawned a recent trend involving vandalism that has recently affected Missouri schools. The so-called devious lick trend is where teens record themselves stealing items from their school for going at a shot of going viral. The most common items stolen are hand sanitizer and soap dispensers, but some students go further than that and have tried to steal signs and toilets. 8 Missouri schools have confirmed that they are dealing with vandalism in their bathrooms and that they sent emails to families to let them know about the incidences.
Coming up on LUTV News, the Cards are still riding a hot streak after facing the Milwaukee Brewers and trying to keep their wild card hopes alive. Find out how they did when we come back.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you did. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there's you. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
For the first time since 2001, the Redbirds struck a 10-game win streak. Tuesday night, they survived a close matchup against the Milwaukee Brewers. You gotta give the player of the game to second baseman Tommy Edman because he gave the Cards an early lead by stealing second and scoring off a sacrifice fly. Outfielder Lars Nootbaar also stole second base and scored on Edman's RBI single to give the Cards a 2-1 lead in the 8th. The Blues brought back center Robert Thomas. Thomas signed a 2-year deal averaging nearly $3 billion. For the past 2 seasons, he dealt with a lot of injuries that caused him to miss the Stanley Cup Finals in 2019 and most of the 2020 season. Thomas will attend training camp with the Blues on Thursday. In NFL news, the Rams could face a $1 billion settlement in the St. Louis relocation lawsuit. Team owner Stan Kroenke may settle the case out of court before its trial. A pretrial hearing is scheduled for Friday, and trial date is set for January 2022. Speaking of football, how about those Lindenwood Lions? Senior linebacker Drew Sears was named GLVC Defensive Player of the Week. The 2019 Player of the Year accumulated 14 tackles and an interception that contributed to the Lions' win over Kentucky Wesleyan on Saturday. This is Sears' 4th Career Conference Player of the Week award. For Lindenwood Golf, the men's team completed the NSU Classic on Tuesday, finishing 15th overall in the tournament. Matthew Frith and Jordan Breen recorded 1 round of par or better during the 3-round tournament. Frith led the Lions with a score of 71 and 72 for the first 2 days, and then Breen closed the tournament with a 6-9 to lead the team with a score of 220. That's it for sports. For LUTV News, I'm Josh Robinson.
Former NFL quarterback Kurt Warner is having his rags to riches story come to the big screen. Actor Zachary Levi will be playing the Hall of Famer in the upcoming movie American Underdog. The movie also stars Anna Paquin and Dennis Quaid. Warner won a Super Bowl championship with the St. Louis Rams back in 1999. He played 11 seasons in the NFL. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2017. American Underdog will be out in theaters nationwide on Christmas Day. That's it for this edition of LUTV News. I'm Alexis Montgomery. Thank you for joining us.